Hi, this is Stephen Lynn, the principal at Fort Zeller Elementary School, and we're here for our 11th episode of We're All in This Together. As I have shared before, this series is meant to bring to you a human side to our teachers. Many of you guys have heard stories of our teachers from our children. You know that you can all imagine that teaching at some level is a performing job. And so you really only get to see one side of our teachers. And nowadays online and on Seesaw, you really see our teachers in pre-recordings as well as names associated with comments. But there is so much more to our teachers, and it's important for us to share with you the human side of teaching, because we hope that you as a family can relate to our celebrations, the blessings that we see and the silver linings and everything, as well as the frustrations. And today, to join us, we have a fantastic and caring teacher, Miss Booth. Will you wave and say hello?
Hello. I miss you all.
Yes, that is a theme. We all miss all of our children, don't we?
Absolutely.
So, Miss Booth, how are you today, first of all, coming out of the weekend?
I mean, it's beautiful. What can you ask? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my happy place.
Good, right, good choice, sitting outside. I'm actually still in my office, and maybe later on today. Yeah, maybe later on I'll do some work outside, who knows? But, so, as of this recording, it's around 10 o'clock in the morning. And typically on a school day, you're not at home at 10 o'clock in the morning. And while it looks comfortable right now, I'm sure that there has been quite a change in what teaching looks like, how you have envisioned teaching when you went through your training, to what teaching is as a reality nowadays. How are you making sense of that?
Well, for starters, as you know, I am not very technology savvy, so it was a big struggle for me. I won't say there were tears. It was very difficult. I've seemed to come into a routine. I feel that my kids have gotten into that routine, but I am a hands-on teacher. I need to be in that classroom. I need to be with those kids. So it's difficult. It's a challenge. It's not where I want to be. It's not what I want to be doing, but you make the best of it. As I tell my kids, you have to adapt to every situation, and this is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, oftentimes we talk about, even on this series, about how much our teachers, and that includes you, like our heart is in the profession. And so not being able to connect with our children can be really difficult.
Yeah.
But I think you bring up a theme that maybe we haven't explored as much, is grit. The toughness of our teachers, basically having to revamp K-12 overnight.
Oh, absolutely. And it was quick. It was very quick.
Yeah.
There was no time. I mean, I don't mean no time. We had time to play with things and kind of adjust what we wanted to do, but it was right there. 1 week and we're
100%.
back at it.
Well, and that's the thing, especially when you put it into context, that K-12 as a whole system took hundreds of years to get to our current place as of Friday the 13th.
Correct.
And what it looks like now is wildly different. And we, at best, at least on formal paperwork, had 2 weeks to put that together.
Right.
And then on top of that, whatever our plans were for moving forward, you kind of hit it. You had to learn it and then eventually get yourself back into a rhythm. One of your colleagues, Ms. Ogachek, the former ball coach, it's learning the playbook and then learning the rhythm and flow of the plays. So where are you now? It seems like you're in maybe a better level of comfort as far as the tech.
There's plenty more to learn, as with the teaching online, but I feel like I'm at a comfort zone right now and enjoying what the kids send me, especially the videos. Oh my gosh, their little voices. I love to hear that. The sound aspect plus the videos. But, it's a rhythm. You get into it, you learn what you're doing, and you make those activities as personal as you can.
Yeah.
So
Now, I wouldn't sell yourself short, by the way, about being tech savvy or not tech savvy.
look, I'm right here. I got this to work.
You're right here, and what are some of the things you do to add that personal touch? Because I think for you, you learned the tech because your heart needed to use that tool to reach the children. What are some things you've done to reach the children?
Well, to be honest, I have to thank my team. They have helped me gain in that aspect. Plus, there's a couple of behind the scenes friends that I will say hi to. They know who I'm talking about, who have made my day-to-day tech savvy stuff work. And without that, it would have been a struggle. But what I've done is we do our activities on a daily basis, obviously. Thank you to you for sending out your morning announcements again. Yay, the kids love it. I have done every Friday. I've continued with a read aloud that I started at work or at school. And now I've just recently started a new one. And plus, I kind of took it upon myself. I'm not a big Zoom fan, and that's fine. Everybody has their little niche.
Yeah, thanks for joining, by the way.
What?
Thanks for joining on this Zoom call.
Yeah. I took it upon myself to individualize an activity or a video to each child on my seesaw lessons. So each child got a personalized activity or video from me. And I have 4 more that I have to finish today. So yeah. I'm getting there slowly. And I did get some responses, and I told them, I said, you don't have to respond. You can respond. This is just something for them, And I think that was a big hit, especially, like I said, I sent it out to a friend. I said, what do you think of this? And they were all for it. So yes. It was good.
And I don't know if I told you, but I have gotten great feedback. I've heard great feedback about that. I think that is one of those unique things. We expect our students to learn at certain levels of comfort. We want to push them. I think learning sometimes requires you to put them outside of their comfort zone a little bit.
Right.
You don't want to do it too much, right? And that's the same thing with teachers, And there's been a lot of grace from our community as far as who's using Zoom or who's using some other method of reaching out. And I think that piece, those personal, what do we want to call it? Personal messages to the children.
I call them video chats, personal video chats.
Yeah, personal video chats that you send to each individual student is a really creative and unique way of using technology in a way that pushes you to continue to evolve in technology. Again, please don't sell yourself short. And then also adding that personal touch. I was hoping you would bring that up. As of late, and for our viewers, I am currently a co-teacher in Miss Booth's class, so I get to see the impact of
They love the comments from you.
Oh, right, and I'm with you. I love the audio comments because I just imagine, hopefully, that our children's eyes will lighten up when they hear your voice, especially, and hopefully my voice.
I know I do. I share it with my family, and we're just amazed at some of the things that they say. It's so cute.
Yeah.
My husband actually likes, I turn the tablet to him and I'm like, look, here's another video. And we sit there and watch it together.
Yeah. No, and on occasion when a child sends a personal message asking how you're doing, or, you're doing a good job with this or that, I will admit, as a human being, I've gone back to those children's messages just for a picnic.
Oh,
yeah. They mean more than anything else, honestly, these days.
Right. Yep.
So speaking of humanity and being human, how are you taking care of yourself? What's it like being at home and, being an individual while also now in your house having to be a teacher? I mean, many people physically separate work and home, and teachers aren't very good at that. Most teachers are bringing work home all the time, but now your home is your workplace. How's that been?
I mean, it's different. Obviously, I like the school aspect part of it. I like to be up in front of the kids and be with them. And I can't say I don't not like being at home, because I do. I mean, right now, like I said, my happy place is my front porch.
Yeah.
different. I have everybody at my house. There's 4 of us. My husband and my 2 older sons are here, and it's challenging some days. I mean, I won't lie. My husband's on a split schedule where he is in some days and not some days. My older son is at work every day, and my younger son is just finished his senior year in college. He graduates in December. So we're all trying to mix being at home at the same time. So it can be, it's fun. We get to spend a lot of time together. You know, I do a lot of work, obviously. I'm not the 9 to 5 kind of person. I'm up till 10 o'clock on the computer doing all kinds of stuff like that. So I have to balance it. We go for walks a lot. I try to spend some time outside as much as possible, as you know. I read. Plus, I'm always thinking of things that I can do for the kids. That's just me in general. My mind never stops. So we're making it work. I miss friends. I miss that human touch with everything in the aspect of being able to be around people. But, you know, you do what you have to do. And like I tell the kids, this is something new. We have to learn it. We have to practice it. We have to do it. That's what we're doing right now. There's nothing you can do about it. You go and do what you need to do.
It's like we're all involved in one huge, forget a class project, community project, and we've just had to learn something new. And part of that is experiencing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I mean, there's good days and bad days, and everybody has those. That's just the way it is.
You know, and you touched greatly on the blessings of being with family, and you know, that is something that we preach, and hopefully we're getting better at practicing this whole family first piece, knowing that our teachers, when you are in a good place, you're in the best position to help our children too. But you know, yeah, go ahead.
There's one thing that I do find myself doing when it's not a great day or something happens, and I'm like, oh, my son has a guinea pig. So I go up there and I just sit and I talk to him all the time. It's interesting how something little like that can calm you and make you feel better. And Mr. Squeakers does do that.
That's great. You know, that's essentially the essence of mindfulness. You take your attention on the things that put anxiety in your brain, that whole fight and flight sort of everything, like you have to be responsive, and then you take that attention, you put it in something that can help center you. Like correct. Mr. Squeakers.
Yes.
Yeah. So believe it or not, as much as we do the whole anchor and the breathing, you spending time with Mr. Squeakers is a moment of
absolutely.
The present.
And I share that with some of my friends too. So
yeah. But with Mr. Squeakers. Yeah, when now the whole world knows, since this is broadcast.
Yeah, right? It's all good.
Yeah. So now on the flip side, there's, you know, with everything going on, you know, with all the blessings and silver linings, there's an underbelly to that, which is this constant worry. You know, we are able to check in on and get the pulse of our children every day in the past, or we were able to. What worries you nowadays? You know, are there things, you know, we talk about stress in general, but what are the worries, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, I try not to think ahead. I try not to think about the future. I try to take it one day at a time, because I think if I do look at what's coming, what will be coming, that's when the worry starts. That's when the stress starts. That's what I worry about. That's what's it going to be like. You know, we went in to gather the kids' things at school, and I looked at that room for the first time, and now I might start to cry. And I thought, oh my gosh, Friday, March 13th. It stopped right there. And that room just grabbed me, and I worried. What is it going to be? How are we going to make this work come August, whatever right. I struggle with that, but like I said, I stop. I can't do that, because then this will all start. And, you know, it one day at a time. And I tell the kids that today is the day. Take hold of what you have today and make it work.
More often than not, as teachers have come in, either for those events where you quickly have to grab your materials, or recently, you know, our teachers are staggered to go into bag personal belongings, as you were just in last week. I think more often than not, teachers have noticed that it's almost as if time stopped in the school. Or, Dr. Seuss celebration posters are still
It's
up.
on the wall.
They're all on the wall, right? Some of the posters have fallen off because of the adhesive. And it feels like a ghost town sometimes, And I think with that physical facility reminds you of that day and those moments that were normal.
That's heartbreaking to me because that's what I am. That's where I belong.
Mhm.
But and you know what? I miss the kids desperately in that respect, but I have to look at it, what we're doing, how we're handling it. It's working for what we need to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I only do one day at a time.
Yeah. Living in the present, another mindfulness theme there I appreciate. And you're right. I think, why worry about something that you haven't been a part of yet in the future?
It's still there in the back of my mind, as is with everybody. And you can't not think about it. But as of this is what we're doing right now. This is the present.
Yeah. So now, speaking of silver linings and hopes and aspirations for your children as they are at home, what are your hopes that they might take away from this experience, hopefully on a more positive level?
I hope that they are embracing things as I am, enjoying the family aspect part of it, working on what they can do in the school aspect of it. Maybe taking the time to go outside with their book instead of having to be cooped up inside and reading. Find a spot that's shady and quiet and just keep reading, keep practicing, keep doing that. That's the part that I hope they're just taking it all in. I had one of my kiddos say to me, Mrs. Booth, we planted this awesome garden and that's the stuff that I think they need to be doing. I want them to making this whole thing a positive experience, not just staying, I don't want to say sheltered in a little nook in their room, Enjoy every aspect of it because you won't get this back. This isn't going to happen again. This is a different time. You can be doing the things with your family that you wouldn't normally be doing.
Yeah. Well, it's like you find your happy place and enjoy it while you can, because, again, at 10 o'clock in the morning on a school day, most of us are at school, and that may be a happy place, but we have so many other personal happy places around the house we might be able to enjoy. So,
absolutely.
Now, here's another question. With everything that's changed, I can tell you have done a lot of thinking. There's a lot of reflection. And to be fair, I think a hallmark of a great teacher is the ability to reflect. You humble yourself and you look at everything with a sense of curiosity and, maybe move away from judgy sort of reflections. But for you, what has changed in your life that you say, if we ever go back to this normal, whenever that is, that you don't want to let go of because that has been a good change in your life and you want to hold on to that?
You probably laugh. Not having to worry about getting up at a specific time in the morning. That I do like. And you know me, because I'm the early bird. I'm always there early.
That is a true story. If I go in, there's always a certain car in the parking lot ahead of me.
I think maybe what I like, what my husband and I do, the first thing we do in the morning is go for a walk before my office hours, before school starts. I enjoy that. That is one of the things that I know it will change. Now we do that on weekends, but the daily aspect of that is nice, that he and I get to have that first thing in the morning, time that we just talk about things or just enjoy the sounds outside. Yeah. I will miss that because I know that's going to go away. But you know what? Again, I'm coming back to taking everything day by day and just enjoying that moment.
Earlier
before the lawnmower, sorry.
No, I honestly can't. Yeah, but I'll say this: before we started recording, you were nervous about
A
little bit, because you are very private and you don't want to
Let's
draw.
just say I'm behind the scenes kind of person.
Behind the scenes, yeah. But I will say I really appreciate that you came on, because I've grown a lot just listening to you. Just talking about being in the moment. I think that is a theme we can take away from this particular interview, which is something I preach, but I struggle to practice sometimes.
And don't we all do that though? We all say things and then we try to take that on ourselves, and it doesn't always work that way. So take this as a lesson.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Always.
Right. And I hope people see in this series that being a teacher is not just something you sign a contract to fulfill. I mean, there's something within us that draws us. People often, and maybe they say this almost too often that I don't even want to use the word, but they say it's a calling, right? It's a profession. You profess your love for this particular craft of teaching. And I think we see it in all of your colleagues. You're right, you have great teammates, and certainly see it in you too. It's hard to turn off the teacher.
My kids would always say to me when I would come home, when they were younger, "Mom, you're not at school anymore. You can turn the teacher off." I'm like, you don't do that. That's just something that is there.
Oh, my wife hasn't been in the classroom in about 5 years, and her teacher voice game, especially when it's directed to her husband, very strong. Very
Absolutely.
strong.
Yep.
So what words of encouragement or support might you want to offer our community, our families and parents who hopefully are connecting with you in this interview? What words of encouragement and support might you offer for them?
I know, as looking at what my parents have been doing, I am just thankful that they're there. They are doing an excellent job. They are helping their kids with whatever they need. Again, I'm going to come back to it. Take each day at a time. Smile, enjoy what you have, and just be grateful that you can do the things that you are doing.
Yeah.
And kids, keep working hard.
Yes. You know what? You're not the only one whose message is gratitude, which some people say, well, how is that encouraging? But then I can say this: when people express gratitude to what you do, or what little I think I'm doing for our children, but from the words of our parents or from our kids, it means a lot. It is fuel. It's motivation. And of course, we reciprocate that gratitude to those families who, well, honestly, all families. Not every family can do work every day.
And we want to respect that. Absolutely. You do it when you can. You get things done when you had that time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining me.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes. I was looking forward. This is the Monday morning interview I was looking forward to. This will certainly nourish me as I go into the rest of the week, as all of the interviews do. And so if you are watching this, hopefully you are checking it out on our YouTube channel, which is Principal Fort Zeller. You can check this episode as well as the previous 10 episodes on this channel. Just scroll through the channel. Our PTO, speaking of amazing parents in an amazing community, our PTO has been, they've taken the nickname Smile Squad and they've taken off and run with it. And part of that is being gracious in posting these videos on the Facebook page too. So if you haven't checked out, or maybe you missed a couple of the episodes, you can also find them on the Fort Zeller PTO Facebook page, and of course you'll see this video there as well. Thank you everyone for joining, and until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.